Did you miss out on today's Nasdaq moves? In this review, I'm breaking down the exact setups that delivered consistent profits using the Money Maker and the glitch strategies. So after trying to show you different approaches in the last reviews, I'm now back to simplicity, focusing on straightforward, high probability entries that just work. Also, huge congratulations to Madiek for passing 3 top step accounts, and CRZ for passing another Apex account in just 2 days. Plus, I'll show you how I took a Glitch Pro Max setup on the 1 second chart that yielded $850 in just seconds. So whether you're looking to maximize your trades or avoid market traps, this breakdown will show you how to stay profitable with ease. Okay, before we dive in, I want to remind you that everything I do here is completely free. No hidden charges, no paid services. Our Discord community, which is also free, is growing strong with over 2,000 members, all filled with positive energy and a genuine desire to help each other succeed. If you are not already part of it, make sure to join us and become part of this amazing community. The link is in the pinned comment below. Okay, so Monday, 9 September, starting the day at 3 a.m. London time, I can see that we are maybe creating this higher time frame zone. It will be maybe some zone on the higher time frame. Okay. I also see that we just flipped back bullish from and after taking this low, and we respected this 50% and going up. Okay. So 3 a.m. closed above this high and also this high, and this is the SNDR that was responsible of taking this high, and it has also a glitch, this one. Okay, so the only trade I'm willing to risk in this time will be this glitch for a 1-to-1. Okay, so we didn't get tagged. Okay, we just tagged the 50% of the SNDR. Okay, no problem, it's risky business. Now that we close above this higher time frame high, okay, we created now this beautiful M5 zone. Okay, so now we need more information, whether we are displacing above the zone and keep respecting bullish structure, okay, or we will accumulate, flip back to bearish structure, change of order flow. Remember, higher time frame high taken, we expect a change of order flow. So if we change the order flow in M1, it will facilitate the 50% retracement or something deeper if they want. And then we will change the order flow another time for more bullishness. Okay. So I can see that we are still playing bullish games. Okay. I see now this as my zone, right? So managing risk, I'm willing to take some risk in this 50% for a possible 1-to-1, right? But it's still very risky. So in this trade, I will risk maybe the half, or just go with the ordinary $100 risk in this trade. Okay, so if I'm in, I'm in. Okay, so here they didn't even mitigate the 50% and they went up. Okay, so this is a valid pullback, right? So this is now a new zone. Why? Because it's made of valid structure. Okay, so if they tag now this 50%, I'm in. Okay, so again, they didn't tag the 50% and they closed above, but this is not valid structure. Why? Because this down candle didn't close under this bullish one. Okay, I'm still waiting for the setup in here. Okay, we are accumulating. We accumulated and first tapped here, making all of this very beautiful. I can see also some kind of displacement, right? So I'm in. Okay, maybe stop loss, or okay, and that's our first win for the day. Okay, first win. Cool. It was a little bit scary, but that's still a first one. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Okay. So we had this high, we closed above, right? And I see now maybe 15-second bullish zone. Okay. So yeah, exactly. So going back to the 15-second here, right? I'm entering at this 50% for a 1-to-1 again. That's a beautiful A++ with accumulation and displacement. I'm willing to take. Okay, so that was scary again. Oh, and they came back to this mini glitch zone in here, played around in it, and gave the 1-to-1 for the bigger zone. Okay, so that's my second win for the day. All right, cool. Let's keep following. So I'm back to the M1 now. I see a lot of guys like they like to stay on the M50, the 15 seconds or the seconds. They're not getting enough information from the second chart, and then they will take unnecessary losses. So if you take a win, just step back, go celebrate it, take a walk, and come back when you feel a little bit more concentrated. Okay. All right. So I can see now that we created now this zone. Okay. This is internal structure, but for me, zones are still zones. Okay. So we are accumulating, and we swept this low into this breaker, fair value gap, and we're up. Okay. No problem. Okay. So now what happened? We took a higher time frame high. So what do we expect? A change of order flow. All right. So this is my higher time frame zone. Okay. So let's see. Okay. So we're accumulating here. Cool. Cool. All right. So we didn't make it to the 50%. Okay. No problem. So now I see this zone. This beautiful zone. Okay. So I'm in, and that's my loss. Okay. Right. So I was asking for a loss. Why? Because price created a higher time frame zone and kept expanding. Okay. So the more it's expanding, the more likely we'll take a loss because price will seek fair value back into the higher time frame zone, left unmitigated. Right. So M5, we have now a zone, a fake zone above, and when and the other zone when we got our loss, which is not even valid on M5. So that's why it's always a good idea to go back or go to M5 or a higher time frame before you take a trade. So if you saw that this zone was not even valid and it has this unmitigated zone under, right? This one was valid. So maybe you will take this instead of taking the loss I just took. Okay? I'm explaining to you how you think about it and how you can avoid stupid losses, right? Okay, cool. So I'm tagged here to the tick, right? So this is very, very, very precise, okay? And now I'm tagged if you're not tagged in here. And I got my win back, okay? So 3 wins, 1 losses. Okay, so now we still have this, for me, this very important zone, okay? And here, when we got the loss, for me, it's still a flip. So this is a flip, and now this for me is a bearish zone. But you guys know me very well. I never trust first bearish zones. Okay, I always need more information. Okay, so now following the narrative, I can take this trade. Why? Because I know that this can facilitate the move back to this 50%. Okay? But if you want to be extra careful, never take the first flip. Okay? Or at least wait for this glitch in here and take it. Okay? So let's say we're not careful. We took this trade. Okay? So this was another one. Okay? Cool. Now, here is where most of you will ask me if this is a valid setup. Okay? This is not a valid setup. Why? Because we are expecting price to come and take all of this liquidity generated here. Okay? All right? So this is a beautiful trend line liquidity, and this won't hold. It can give the one-to-one, but it's very risky business. Okay? So it falls short just before giving the one-to-one, right? But if you took this trade, right, and you see price coming very closely to your TP, you always go break even here, right? When price is here, always go break even, because if they change, this is a change of state of delivery, and your stop loss is next. Okay, so this is where this is now another bearish zone. Okay, because we follow a narrative now, but they didn't mitigate the 50%. But if you took it with the golden bullet, that's a beautiful win. Something else I want to talk about is whenever you have some fair value gaps, right? Like in here, and you apply the fibs, the golden bullet fibs, like this, and you see that this fair value gap is just at the equilibrium, just take the entry here and try to follow price, okay? But let's keep it simple and just trade the money maker setup, okay? So what do we have in here? Okay, so now we have this beautiful big zone created in here, new bearish zone. Okay, they go back to the 50%. It's cool. If not, we're waiting. So remember the video in which we had lots of unmitigated zone, and then we go to the higher time frame to spot the best one. Okay, so here we still have zones. We go to the 15-minute. This is still two zones. Okay, maybe something like 30-minute. Okay, so in the 30-minute we have just one zone. Okay, so this is now the zone that works. So two plans we have in here. We can either take them stupidly from the 50%, or we wait for price to flip and create bullish zones and then go back up with the price. Okay, so price closed under this low, okay, and closed above this high. So for me, this is my flip, right? A bullish flip just in this zone. Okay, so what do? We never trust the first flip. Okay, here what I did is I went to the 5 seconds. Okay, I hope they give me the 5 second. Okay, so what they did is they created a breaker or a unicorn just at the 50%, but I waited for a zone to be created right here, and this was my first zone. Okay, so I took this trade. That was a win. Okay, 5 wins, and then I also took now this trade, although it was not a valid pullback, but this pullback pulled to the 50% of this zone, making it a valid pullback for me. Okay, So I put money also here, and it was an instant win. 6 wins, and I also took this trade, right? Because I expected this zone, M1 zone, to give this 1-to-1. So I kept taking the 5-second zones till the M1 gave the 1-to-1. So I remember I took this with the golden bullet fib, right? So I had this fair value gap at 50%, and I just entered at the EQ, okay? And I took TP at the 1-to-1 of the zone. I wish I held this trade, right? But unfortunately, I took it just in here, okay? So that's ways how to surf between time frames and get high probability setups. All right, so now we created this beautiful zone, okay? Waited for price to come back to the 50%, but unfortunately, again, same story. Golden bullet, right? Fair value gap at 50%, holding price, and then we just swept some kind of liquidities, and up we went, right? At this time, I was really mad I closed this trade because I just made like $100 per trade in those seconds time frame trades. Okay, so now I'm not taking this bearish zone because price now is bullish, right? I'm never taking zones from the left side. They can work, but I don't care. Okay, if you can remember, those zones give me usually most of the losses. But I can see this glitch in here. If you really want to take something, at least take this glitch. Never expect this zone to give you the profit you want. Okay, so let's see if this glitch works, and it actually worked. Okay, so that's our 7th one, right? So the glitch will at least bring back price to these unmitigated zones, right? Not especially to the 50%, but the 50% of the dealing range, like the golden bullet fib, okay? And then it will keep going up, right? So now we took a higher time frame high, and now we are expecting a change of order flow, which means never take a trade from here, right? It can work, right? You can take it, but if you are if you are really careful about your risk management, just don't take it. Okay. Although now it's getting beautiful because of this accumulation, but yeah. All right. So we created now this zone. We close under this. No. So we didn't create a valid zone as for now. Okay. This is now my last valid zone here. And that's a loss. Okay. So second loss. Oh, again, I forgot about when price is expanding higher after taking a high, right? So this is why this was my loss. Okay. So what's happening here? Okay. So maybe we'll wait for new bearish zones if they want to keep bullish from this higher time frame zone, right? Or maybe they will keep just going up. I also see a glitch in here. Okay, so this beautiful glitch, fortunately it was mitigated, but I can still take it if they want to give it to me. And look at it, that was an instant win. Okay, they never hit your stop loss. So that's 7th or 8th win. Okay, now, okay, so they kept, you see how the glitch like just works every time, especially when pro trend, right? So they always need like to manipulate, right? It has also this mini fair value gap here. They always like to manipulate these guys here, thinking that this is an order block, and now price will be bullish after this reaction. They will enter after we get our take profits from the glitch, and then they will smack them down. Okay, so this is the logic how we trade. We are just following price. We're not making any expectations. Okay, so let's zoom out, see what's happening. Let's go back to something like the 15-minute. Maybe we can see something clear. Maybe. Okay. So I see now this flip, right? It happened. So those were accumulation before this zone, right? So we're maybe heading to the 50%, or we're taking this breaker entry, okay? From this breaker, okay? We'll do nothing. We will wait for structure to change, and then we play simple money maker setups. Okay, so this was a bearish money maker setup, although now very risky. Why? Because the same story. We took this higher time frame low, and this is a bearish zone. Okay, very risky, but I kind of like it. Okay, was it where we failed? Okay, so let's see. So they didn't fail us. So this was not a win, unfortunately. Again, remember the FVG at 50% of this leg, right? Just holding the price, and then we go up. Now that's a golden bullet entry, right? Okay. So did we close under here? Yes. Okay. So, okay, cool. Now, for me, this is a bullish flip. I'm not taking an entry here, but I'm waiting for a second leg at least. Okay. Okay. So we have this valid high or valid pullback, mini zone in here. I'll put some money on it, to be honest. Buy never mitigated. Okay, cool. Are they just gonna fly maybe? Okay. Okay. So again, wait, I see this glitch. Okay, so this is a bearish glitch. Okay, so why? We flip it back bearish. So this is pro trend now. Okay, and we have now this glitch, bearish one. Okay, so I'm taking it. Right? Loss maybe. Come on, glitch. And that's our glitch loss, right? The glitch is high probability, yeah, higher probability than the money maker, but never put all your money in it because it can fail also. So you see now the live example of this failing now, right? So please, I see lots of you guys sometimes as putting all your money on the glitch, while it will, remember, it's all statistics and we are playing a game of probability, okay? So everything can still fail. Never, always go with good risk management, okay? So now, we took this higher time frame high, okay? Let's see on the M5. So we closed also on the M5 above this wick. Cool. So this is a beautiful zone. Bullish zone. Okay. Well, let's go back to M1. No, you never take those trades, right? Never take those zones. I see that this gave the 1-to-1, but just don't take them, especially when we don't close here or something. This is just like manipulation for the guys, for the breakout traders. here's the theory behind it. So there is some guys that put buy stops in here just to profit from the breakout. So what they do is just they trigger them in, they keep manipulating them. They will think it's now long, and now they think it's short, and then they will kill their dreams going back to at least this 50%, and then they go back up. So this is where I tell you guys, when we take a higher time frame high, expect accumulation and change of order flow. This change of order flow will be the facilitator for price to move back to the 50% of the higher time frame zone. Okay? So please just remember this logic, okay? So two things you can do here. Again, you can either enter blindly with 100 point loss, enter with 1 micro, right? Wait for them to trigger you, okay? And take the win. Or here, now that order flow is now bearish, you can hope for trade in this 50%, okay? Or take the golden bullet or golden SBS, okay? All right, so this is a golden bullet entry. No money maker fail, okay? Let's see again. Okay, cool. Now that, or when we hit the 50%, just be careful about going long, because at 50% they like to accumulate and manipulate a lot, or just fly back to give it 1-to-1. Okay, so here you are careful about taking any trade. Okay, but now they manipulated the high, then they broke down. So this is a perfect dealing range. Okay, so they tagged the 50% and gave the 1-to-1. So that's a beautiful win I can take. Okay, so this is how I trade. Now we have this beautiful zone again. It's getting risky, I admit it, but that's a trade I can take. Okay, so this is stop loss. Okay, that's my fourth stop. No problem. Okay. Oh, so now they took my stop loss, sorry. They took my stop loss and they closed above this zone, okay? So this is now a bullish flip, right? So we enter at the 50% and we are in deep discount, and we took this liquidity, the only liquidity I can take, right? The breaker liquidity from this breaker zone. So I might put some risk in here, $100, okay? No problem, not something that can make me lose my account, right? And that's the 1-to-1, okay? So 10 wins, right? Okay, so we have this zone, so this is now my new zone. Am I taking a short from here? Absolutely not. Okay, that's a story from the past. I'm following what price is dictating now. Okay, so we're okay, cool. So we created, right? So this is a valid pullback. We created this one. We took the 50% and that's a win. So that's 11 wins. Cool. Right, so still waiting if they come back to this 50%. I can still take it. But now we have something more beautiful, which is dealing range. Okay. Okay, so they took stops, manipulated guys in here, and flew up. Okay, so this is where we have lots of FVGs. So what I do now, I use the golden bullet. Okay, so I'm not entering at the money maker, but I'm entering at this 50%. Okay, let's see how it goes. Right, so see, they didn't even come back, and they gave the 1-to-1 for this huge zone. Okay, I didn't even see that market already closed here, but you can see the structure is structure. Okay, so what I forgot is, like, I didn't show you my glitch on the 1 second. Okay, so it was like 9:47. All right, I was on the 5 second. I was out, and I was out and kind of bored. So I went down to the 1 second in here. So I was seeing this as liquidity. Okay, so we created this smooth liquidity, right? Price then created beautiful equal lows just above this unmitigated 50%. Okay, so I went back to the 1 second, and I spotted that they broke structure in here. They go and mitigate something in here, but they didn't mitigate a glitch that were unmitigated left in here on the 1 second, right? So I can't go back to the 1 second win trading view, unfortunately, but luckily enough, I had a screenshot from TopStep chart, and this looked like that. Okay, so let's just play it on the 5 second. Okay, so we go and wick these highs, right? And then we just attack this low. This is liquidity trading. And remember what I told you in last videos. So after the glitch, we usually have a breaker setup. So this is our breaker. Okay, it's either you trust the glitch and take it for a higher RR, or just wait for a breaker setup, right? Enter at the 50% of the breaker, and we target the liquidity. Okay, so they just tagged this zone and I was out. So here is how it looked on the 1 second chart. Okay, so price created a zone here. It looked like something like that. There's something like that. Okay, so this was a zone, right? And this was the last zone that took the high, this high. So this was my glitch. Okay, so price went, right, never closed under this zone in here, so they just wicked here. This never closed down, or this never closed under the zone here, but now we closed. Okay, so this was now my new bearish zone. Okay, this whole thing, right? So instead of me, sorry, this one, so instead of me taking the trade from the 50%, I just took it from this 50% of this glitch, right? So my target was higher RR, something like that, covered the highs, and I took it at this low, right? So this was something like a 6R trade, right? So this is a 6R trade. As I always tell you, there's something about this setup, like it always gives like something like 6 Rs. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more, like 10 Rs or something crazy like that. But this was a 6R setup, and unfortunately I didn't get 6R out of it because I entered with a market order. I was out and just traded on mobile. Okay, so I made something like 3R or something, which is not bad if you ask me. So there you have it, guys. Another winning day where we got 11 wins and 4 losses. The losses were easily avoidable if you guys ask me, and to be honest, but I take them for you to show you how some zones are not worth it. I wish you guys find value in this, and I'll see you guys later. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any futures update. And if you want to dive deeper into the Money Maker setup, check out the playlist that will pop up in the end screen. It's packed with everything you need to get started. Remember, everything I do is free, including our thriving Discord community. Join us and let's keep growing together. Ciao ciao.